Good morning, students. In today's session, I am going to discuss about stack using arrays. Before going to start, before going to start stack using arrays, just I would recall what do you mean by data structure. What do you mean by data structure? Data structure is a collection of data. How we are going to organize the data is going to deal about the data structure. Generally, data is going to store in terms of ones and zeros. Data is going to store in terms of ones and zeros. Already you know that what you mean by bit. Already you studied in computer organization what do you mean by bit. Generally, whenever we are going to entering the data into the system, that particular data is going to converted into in the form of ones and zeros. Then we are going to store the data. Here every uh, every single digit, either 0 or 1, either 0 or 1 is going to store in a single unit, that is bit. 0 or 1 is going to store in bit. Here generally data is going to be stored in terms of binary digits, either 0 or 1. The 0 or 1 is going to store in a single bit, that is single memory unit, that is known as bit, right? Here data structure means we are organizing the data in a systematic order. We are organizing the data, we are storing the data in the systematic order. Generally, what do you mean by data? Data is a collection of elements. Data is a collection of elements, or data is a collection of values. Data is a collection of elements, or data is a collection of values. Now in data structure, uh, we are going to storing the information, we are going to storing the set of values, we are going to storing the set of collection of data in a organizing way. In an organizing way, we are going to storing the information, that is known as the data structure. Whenever we are going to store the information in the data structures, we can perform various types of operations on that particular data structure, right? Generally, if you are going to represent any data structure, generally if you are going to represent any data structure, then we can perform various types of operations on the data structure. For example, we can insert the element into the data structure, or we can insert the element into the data structure, or we can delete the element from the data structure, or we can retrieve the element from the data structure, or we are going to check whether the data structure is full or empty. All those in various types of operations we can perform on the data structure. Whenever we are going to represent any data structure, we can perform various types of operations on the data structure. Either we can insert the data into the data structure, or we can retrieve the information from the data structure, or else we can delete the element from the data structure, or we can check whether the data structure is full or empty. All those things, all these operations can perform on the data structure. Why? Because data structure means it is a collection of data. If data is present, means we can perform various types of operations on the data structure. Generally, in mathematically also we can represent the data structure in mathematical format. Here we are going to use this triple DFA. D equals to DFA. This is the mathematical representation of data structure. This is the mathematical representation of data structure. D equals to DFA. This D represents the data structure, right? Next is small d indicates the set of variables. Small d is set of variables. Small f is set of functions. Here, set of variables, set of functions. A is the set of rules to implement the function. A is set of rules to implement the functions. Here generally, here we are going to whenever we are going to perform any task, we are going to dividing that particular task into functions. Function is a subprogram which is used to perform a specific task. Function is a subprogram which is used to perform a specific task, right? Here in function, we are having set of variables. To implement any function, we are going to use this set of variables. By using those variables only, we are going to implement the functions, right? Here A is a set of rules. Whenever we are going to implement any function, whenever we are going to work on the function, we are having some set of rules. We are having some set of rules. By using those set of rules only, we are going to implement the function. So mathematically, the data structure is going to represent by using this triple, that is D equals to DFA. So D, capital D is going to represent the data structure, small d is represent the set of variables, small f is the set of functions, A is the set of rules to implement the functions, right? Here now being a computer science student, here now you are going to represent the data structure in terms of data, in terms of values, right? Now in terms of memory locations, how you are going to organize the data in that particular memory locations, you are going to deal with this in this data structure, right? Here generally data structures are divided into two parts. First one is here linear data structure. Second one is the non-linear data structure. First one is the linear data structure and non-linear data structure. Linear data structure means in linear data structure, all the elements are arranged in linear order. All the elements are arranged in linear order. Whereas in case of non-linear data structure, elements are arranged in non-linear order. Non-linear order means not in sequential order, not in sequential order, not in sequential order. Here linear order means a sequence. In a sequence order, we are going to arranging the elements. We are going to arranging the elements in a sequential order. Whereas in this case, here for example, one element is, we are going to store in this element C, D, E in this format. Here, this is not here. We are not going to store the elements in a linear order. Here, in this case, all the elements are arranged in linear order. Generally, linear data structure is going to classified into four types. First one is the arrays, second one is the linked list, third one is the stack, fourth one is the queue structure. All those things are going to comes under the linear data structure. Whereas in case of non-linear data structure, here non-linear data structure is going to be classified into two types. First one is the trees, second one is the graphs. Here in trees and graphs, in trees and graph also we are going to storing the information, but the particular storing of information is not going to be in a linear order. The storing of information is not going to present in a linear order, right? Here already you know what you mean by arrays, already you know what you mean by structure. Now in this session I am going to explain how you are going to represent these stacks, right? So how you are going to represent the stacks, queues, linked lists, all those things, right? Here already on data structures we can perform various types of operations, right? That is insertion, deletion, traversing, searching, sorting, all those things we can perform on the data structure, right? In the same way here now we are going to dividing this data structure into two types, linear data structures and non-linear data structure here. So what are the linear data structure? Arrays, linked list, stacks, queues. Non-linear data structures are trees and graphs. So we can perform same all the operations which we can perform on the data structure, we can perform on the stacks, queues, linked lists, trees and graphs. What are the operations? Insertion, deletion, traversing and searching, sorting, is full, is empty. This type of operations we can perform on the data structures, right? While we are going to implement any data structure, for example, I am going to implement this stack. Here when I am going to implement this stack, I have to perform all these operations on these stacks. Whether this stack is going to be performed, stack is going to allow to perform all these operations or not. In this session, we are going to discuss about stacks. Right. Here already you know what you mean by abstract data type. Now we are going to represent these data structures by using the abstract data type. In first year you learn about the data structure, stacks, queues, linked list and all those trees and graphs. Here in that case in first year you will learn about just you are going to implement the data structure just like stacks and queues. Now you are going to implement the stacks, queues data structure by using the abstract data type. Already you know what you mean by abstract data type. Abstract data type means it is a declaration of data. It is a declaration of a data and declaration of operation. In abstract data type we are not going to implement the implementation details of that particular data type. We are not going to discuss about the implementation details of that particular data type. Now we have to implement these data structure by using this abstract data type. By using this abstract data type, we are going to implement this data structures, right? Coming for the stacks, this is very important topic. Now, stack is a linear data structure in which we can insert the element and we can delete the element from one end. Stack is a linear data structure in which we can insert the element and we can delete the element from one end. For example, here I'm going to write this is stack. Stack is the linear data structure. So elements will be arranged in the linear order only. Elements will be arranged in a linear order. Right? Stack is a linear data structure in which elements are arranged in a linear order, in a sequential order. Here in stack we are having only one end. We are having only one end. From this one end only, we are going to insert the element into the stack. We are going to insert the element into the stack, and we can delete the element from this stack. We can insert the elements and we can delete the element from this stack. This end is known as top. This end is known as top. Here, stack is the linear data structure in which we can insert the element and we can delete the element from one end. That particular end is known as the top. Right? Here already I said that stack is the data structure. So we can perform various types of operations on the stack: insertion, deletion, traversing, is full, is empty. Right? All those operations we can perform on the stack data structure. Right? Here, whenever we are going to insert the element into the stack, whenever we are going to delete the element into the stack, from top end we are going to insert the element and we can delete the element from the stack. That's the reason top is going to keep the track of that particular stack. Here, stack is going to keep the track of that particular stack. What type of elements are present in that particular stack, how many elements are present in this stack, how the element is going to be deleted from the stack. All this information is going to be carried out by this top. Right? Here in stack, here generally we can perform push operation, pop operation, traverse operation, is full, is empty operations on the stack. These are the basic operations we can perform on the stack. What is the use of this push operation? Push or insert. Here, by using this push operation, we can insert an element into the stack. We can insert an element into the stack. By using the pop operation, we can delete the element from the stack. We can delete the element from the stack. Traverse or display. So we are going to retrieve each and every element which is present in the stack. Retrieve or display means we are going to visit each and every element which is present in this stack. Is full means we are going to check whether the stack is full or not. By using this is full operation, we are going to check whether the stack is full or not. By using the is empty operations, we are going to check whether the stack is empty or not. Here, while we are going to insert any data into the data structure, we are going to use this operation, that is push function. By using this push function, we are going to insert the element into the stack. By using this pop operation, we are going to delete the element from the stack. By using the pop function, we are going to delete the element from the stack. By using this display function, we are going to display the elements which are present in the stack. We are going to display the elements which are present in this stack. Right? Is full. By using this is full function, we are going to check whether the stack is full or not. By using this is empty function, we are going to check whether the stack is empty or not. Is empty function. To represent to perform the operations on the stack, we have to use the function. By using the functions only, we can check whether this we can check or we can perform the various types of operations on the stack. Right? These are the 5 basic operations. By using these 5 basic operations, we can perform various types of operations on the stack. See here some of the examples of this one. See here, for example, this is the stack. If this is the stack, got yeah. First A, then B, then C, then D, E, F. All these are arranged in a sequential order. Right? See here. In a cafeteria, trays are there. Trays are going to be placed in this sequential order. Stack of coins are going to be placed in this order only. Right? These are some example of stack. Here, generally, while we are going to represent any data structure, some errors are going to be occur. Some errors are going to be occur while we are going to represent any data structure. For example, in this stack, when we are going to represent any stack, we are going to get two types of errors. First one is the underflow error, second one is the overflow error. Underflow error means here an attempt was made to pop an empty stack. It doesn't make any sense to remove something from an empty stack. For example, underflow means here, for example, here this is the stack is there, stack size is 4, stack size is 4, right? Now this is stop. Here this stack doesn't contain any value, this stack doesn't contain any value, right? Any value. Now I am going to try to remove an element from this stack. I am going to try to remove an element from this stack. Is there any element is present in this stack? No, there is no element is present into this stack. There is no element is present in this stack. Now I want to try to delete this element from this stack. Then what will happen? Here it will show the error that no element is present into this stack. No element is present in this stack. So this is known as underflow. This is known as underflow. Underflow means if the stack is empty, now we are going to try to delete the element from this stack. If the stack is empty, now I am going to try to delete an element from this stack. That is underflow error or underflow condition. Overflow. What do you mean by overflow condition? Overflow condition means, for example, see here, the stack size is full. Stack size is 4. What is the stack size? Stack size is 4. Now already I am inserting here 10, 20, 30, 40. Now I want to insert the element 50. Now I want to insert the element 50 into the stack. Is it possible to insert the 50 element into the stack? No. Why? Because stack size is 4. Stack size is 4. Stack size is 4 means we can insert up to 4. That particular stack can hold only 4 elements. That particular stack can hold only 4 elements. Now we are trying to insert the 50 element into the stack. Then it will show the error that is the overflow error. Why? Because now if the stack is full, again we are trying to insert an element into the stack, then it will show the overflow error. Here there are two types of errors are there. First one is there are two types of errors are going to be occur in the stack. First one is the underflow error, second one is the overflow error. In underflow error, if the stack is empty, user is going to try to delete the element from the stack. User is going to try to delete the element from the stack, then you are going to get underflow error. Overflow error means the stack is full. Stack is full. Now user is going to try to insert one more element into the stack. User is going to try to insert one more element into the stack. Then here we can't insert the element into the stack. Then it will show the overflow error. See the example. See here. See, when the elements are inserted in order A, B, C, D, the size of the stack is 4. Here, in this case, what is the size of my stack? My size of my stack is 4. Size of my stack is 4. So, see here. First, right? Now, first I am going to insert here. Initially stack is empty now. Initially stack is empty. Stack doesn't contain any element. Initial stages. In initial stages, stack is empty. Now I am going to insert the A. Is it possible to insert the A element into the stack? Yes. Here, while we are going to insert any element into the stack, first of all, we have to check whether the stack is full or not. Is there any stack is full? No, stack is empty, right? Stack is empty, so we can insert the element into the stack. Now I am going to inserting the element A into the stack, that is A, right? Now I want to insert here. Now at the top end, which element is present here? A element is there. At the top, A element is present. Now I want to insert the B element into the stack. Now I want to insert the B element into the stack. Now whenever we are going to insert any element into the stack, first of all we have to check whether the stack is full or not. Here stack is full. No, stack is having these 3 locations. So we can insert the second element into the stack. Now I am going to insert the second element, that is B. Now at the top element which is having the top element, now B is having the top element, right? Now here how many locations are there? Now empty locations are two, empty locations are there, one, two empty locations are there. Now I want to insert this C into this stack, right? Again I have to check whether the stack is empty or not. Yes, stack is empty, stack is having two memory locations, so we can insert C into this stack. Now which one is the top element? Now what is our top element? Top element is C. Now our top element is C, right? Now I want to insert D element into the stack. Now I want to insert D element into the stack. How we are going to insert D element into the stack? We have to check whether the stack is empty or not, whether the stack is full or not. Here we are having one memory location, we are having one location is there, so we can insert D into this stack, right? We can insert this D element into this stack, right? Now which one is having the top element? What is our top element? Top element is D. Why? Because here we are having only one end, from one end only we are inserting the data, from one end only we are inserting the data, right? From one end only we are inserting the data. Now I want to insert the E element into this stack. Now I want to insert the E element into this stack. Whenever we are going to insert any element into the stack, first of all we have to check whether the stack is full or not. Here the stack, what is the size of the stack? Size of the stack is 4. Size of the stack is 4, so we can insert, size of the stack is 4. Already 4 elements are present in this stack. Already 4 elements are present in this stack. So now I am going to try to insert the E element into the stack. Is it possible to insert E element into the stack? No. Why? Because already stack is full. We can't insert the element into the stack. Here while we are going to insert any element into the stack, we have to check whether the stack is full or not. If the stack is full, we can't insert the element into the stack. If the stack is full, we can't insert the element into the stack, right? Up to here this is clear. Now I want to delete the element from this stack. Now I want to delete the element from this stack. Here stack is having only one end, so from this end only we have to delete the element. From this one end only we have to delete the element. Is it right? Yes. From this end only we have to delete this element. Now while we are going to delete the element from the stack, we have to check whether the stack is empty or not. Is it the stack is empty? No. Stack is consisting of 4 elements, A, B, C, D. 4 elements are there in the stack, so stack is not empty. So we can delete the element from the stack. Which element we are going to delete first? Is it possible to delete A first? No. Why? Because here we are having only one end. From this one end only we have to delete. First we have to delete D. So we can't delete A, we have to delete this D element. First we have to delete this D element. Here now while I am going to delete this D, here now top becomes C, C becomes top here, C becomes top here. C becomes top here. Now I want to delete the element from the stack. Which element? First I have to check whether the stack is empty or not. Stack is empty? No. Stack is consisting of 3 elements. Now we can delete. This C, right? Now I can delete this C. Now stack is consisting of how many elements? A comma B. A comma B is there. Now while I am going to delete this C, here which one top is, B becomes the top element. B becomes the top element. So here, for example, now I want to insert this E element into the stack. Is it possible to insert this E element into the stack? Yes. Why? Because we are having two empty locations. So we can insert this E element into the stack. While we are going to inserting any element into the stack, we are going to check whether the stack is full or not. Here we are having two empty locations. Directly we can delete this E. Directly directly we can insert this E element into this stack. Directly we can insert this E element into this stack, right? Now I am not going to inserting this E into this stack. Here, see here, now B becomes our top element. Now I want to delete this B. Is it possible to delete this B? Yes. Why? Because stack is here. First, while I am going to deleting an element from the stack, I am going to check whether the stack is empty or not. Here stack is not empty. Stack is consisting of A comma B element. Stack is consisting of A comma B element. So directly I am going to deleting this B. Directly I am deleting this B. Right? Now, here. Now A becomes the top element. A becomes the top element. Now again I want to delete this A. How I am going to deleting this A? Here first I am going to check this whether A is stack is empty or not. Stack is not empty. Stack is consisting of this A. Stack is consisting of this A element. So we can delete this A from this stack. So we can delete this A. Right? Now stack is stack. Now I am going to insert. I am going to delete. I am going to try to delete one more element from this stack. Is it possible to delete any element from this stack? No. Why? Because stack is empty. First I am going to check whether the stack is empty or not. Stack is empty. So what type of this condition? This is underflow condition. This is underflow condition. Stack comes under the underflow condition. So we can't delete the element from this stack. We can't delete the element from this stack. Here, which one is the first inserted element? A is the first inserted element. Next, B is the second inserted element. C is the third inserted element. D is the fourth inserted element. Now here, what is the first deleted element? D, then C, then B, then A. So stack follows LIFO technique. Last in, first out. Last inserted element. Which one is the last inserted element? D is the last inserted element. D is the last inserted element. Here, last inserted, then first, last in element is D. First out. Here, which element is going to delete it first? D is going to delete first. So last in, first out. Stack follows LIFO technique. Last in, first out technique. Why? Because last inserted element is going to be deleted first. Last inserted element is going to be deleted first. This is the general example for stack. This is the general example for stack. How we are going to implement this stack? See here. Here, initially stack is empty now. Initially stack is empty. So